So, can we talk about the need for houseplants this year? So today we're diving into all of the houseplants that I have suddenly accumulated. I have mentioned so many times that I am not a houseplant person. For some reason, I cannot keep them alive, but this year I've gotten a little crazy. Now this isn't where all my plants stay. This is kind of just the stage of where I've brought everything. I do keep them throughout the house, but some of them were recently purchased and they're going for projects this coming spring. So they have to limp along and kind of survive till I get them planted outside and where they're supposed to be. So I think for many of us with the situation that's going on this year and such a long winter, it feels like it's been daunting. I have never had to go through so much winter depression in my life. So I have literally accumulated so many more houseplants than I normally ever would. And this isn't all of it, guys. I have so many more just in that little black box downstairs in my basement. So we'll take a quick little glance down there as well, because today I'm sure I have to water and I haven't checked on them in a week, so it's best to go do that. But let's dive into what I have here and show you some of the fun things I've accumulated and talk about some of the projects that they're going to be used for this coming spring. So first up is this Aurelia. I actually just picked this pot up at the thrift store. This is, I don't know the names. I just buy stuff because I like the look of it. Next up is one I have shown on my Instagram already. This is wire vine. I am super excited. This is actually 2 plants. It is not staying in this container. If you like the container, I got the container from Walmart. It's not going to stay in this container just because I want to use them out with a couple of the other plants that are behind me in spring containers this year around our patio. So I will show you what I'm going to pair with those here in a few. One of the fun things that I picked up this year that I was super excited about is my Raven ZZ plant. Now, this guy isn't planted in this wicker basket. He's just dropped in. He's still in his container, but he's already put on a couple new leaves. Surprisingly, this little set here is a little crispy, but here's some new fresh growth that comes in green, and then as it matures it turns this dark black. And these guys need a little bit more light than the normal ZZ plants that we are so accustomed to being in low light. So make sure you have them a little closer to the window. And again, these like to really drain out, but give it a drink. I give these guys drinks probably about once every week and a half to 2 weeks, and it seems to be doing pretty good for me. But yep, so the Raven ZZ plant. So I picked up this beautiful begonia on clearance. This is from the Trending Tropicals collection. It actually gets these really pretty pink blooms on it, and it wasn't very much. I've actually got 2 more begonias I'll show you downstairs. These have actually been doing pretty well for me. These are just a really dark green leaves, and then they have this beautiful reddish maroon color underneath with the beautiful pink blooms. So what I find with these, for me at least, are evenly moist, but they kind of like to have a little bit of a dry out period on them. So keep that in mind, and they don't mind cooler temperatures, so I've been keeping them down in the basement to help with humidity issues and to, I don't know, they just seem really happy in much cooler temperatures, believe it or not. So yeah, that's a begonia. I don't know which variety this is. Just says begonia collection. So if you have an ID on this one, here, I'll get a little close up. Those are the leaves. See, their undersides are that maroon color and the pink blooms. If you know which variety this is, that'd be great. I have 2 more, and hopefully we'll show you those in the video. So I think we all have this misrepresentation of Calathea as this troublesome plant. And yes, I have attempted some of them and I've killed some of them, but I was having really good luck with And I mean really good luck. Like, I've been keeping this thing alive for like 2-3 weeks now, and I'm pretty proud of that. So I ventured out and got one more. But I actually have another calathea downstairs. That's a variegated calathea. I'll show you that one. It's holding on, but it is rebounding considerably from the state it's in. But this little guy I picked up at Home Depot. It was in their trending collections thing. It's got these really velvety leaves, and I love the simplicity of it. I think I love the color more because it's like, if you're in person, it's more of an olive green color, which is really my colors this year. Now, the one thing, this plant was in pristine condition. Pristine condition. Like, I mean, it's not harming the plant, but my cat decided to nibble on it. I picked up this urn. There's actually no drainage hole on this. I picked this up at a thrift store. I'm just super careful about watering. Like, and I know you see the moss and you're probably like, well, that's not helping either because you want them to slightly dry out. I don't water this thing other than maybe once every week and a half. And usually I'll like stick my finger down in there because this is newly planted. This is just slightly bigger. And so far it's been really good. I keep it near a table lamp that we keep on quite a bit, so even if I were to slightly overwater it, it has plenty of natural, like the light that it can pick up and hopefully use that water. So I've been having such good luck with this caladium that I finally went out and purchased the one caladium that I've always loved and I've never given a try. This is rattlesnake plant is what I think they've called it. This one was at the nursery, and this was the biggest one they had in their smaller pots because I didn't want to spend a lot in case I killed it. But you can see for some reason, like, I love putting caladiums in these like vintage footed thing. What do you call these? I don't know. I just buy stuff that I like. So I put this one in there. I don't know that I really love it in this pot, but it looks pretty good. So this sits on my coffee table between a east and south facing window, so it's not directly in the sun, but it gets nice ambient light all day. It's really, really happy, and it's paired with a staghorn fern, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Next, I just purchased a new Hoya. This one is called Royal Flush. This is actually going to be sitting back there permanently. I haven't planted it up yet. It's still in its hanging basket pot. This one just came into the Lowe's the other day, and I was super excited about it. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And Hoyas are super easy to take care of. They're a jungle succulent. So just like higher humidity, they prefer more humidity, in my opinion, than really being watered. So let it dry out a bit, and it seems to do really well. It's putting on a ton of new growth, not by me. It was because it was at the greenhouse before it came in. But other than that, Hoyas are really, really great, really easy to take care of. And this one is in a west-facing window, so it gets some evening sun, but it has the lamps. I only turn the lamps off at night, so it has a long day of LED bulb warm light to get some extra that it might need. Next up is, I've seen these a couple times. I'm sure it's nothing great, but I just really like the look of them. This is a variegated peace lily that I purchased the other day. I don't know if you can see that. I've seen them like once or twice and decided to finally just get myself one. They're so easy to take care of, and I don't even care if it blooms because it's just really pretty with a variegation. So this one lives in the living room on top of our mantle. It's a fake fireplace. We don't have a real fireplace, but it sits over there. It just gets ambient light throughout the day, and that's enough. That's enough for a peace lily at the minimum. I mean, you can put it in a full sun window. My mom's is huge, and she's had it for years. They can take standing water, so if you have a pot that does not have a drainage hole, mine does, but if you don't freak out. They will sit in water. These guys are those beta plants that everybody used to put in a vase and put the beta in the bottom. The beta would suffer, and the plant would look good. They're fine. They like wet feet. So if you're worried about watering, this is a plant for you if you love to water too much. just going to stand up and show you. I've got 2 Hawaiian Scheffalera plants. Scheffalera. I'm good. I'm going to be using these out in containers this year. I have 2 very large metal containers that are about 24 inches wide. I'm going to place those in the center with some wire vines around the bottom, and I'm still debating on what my filler is going to be for those containers. But these were on clearance for $5, so you can't beat using such a tall structural plant that grows pretty fast, especially in the days of summer, to really fill out a container. The other ones are some of these cordyline, however you say it. These ones are showing on the tag really dark red, so I'm assuming once it gets a little more sun, I'm going to transition these out really slow during the spring and allow them to get used to the amount of sun, and then these are going to go in a window box or possibly out in a very large container as a centerpiece to another burr of stuff, or along a window box with some fun fillers and spillers in between there. Haven't decided, but again, clearance plants, they were large. Those are really good buys for when you're doing spring container stuff. So welcome to the plant hoarding area. This has really become just an area for me to overwinter a number of plants that were outside, that aren't hardy here, and to really just confine all my houseplants into one area. It's been really successful, and I've been happy with it because it stays cooler down here. It's a little bit easier to keep humidity levels up. I only water once a week when I come down and do laundry, and so far so good. I'm just going to make this part really quick. I know there's a lot here, but I want to touch on a few plants that I'm pretty happy with on how I'm overwintering them or taking care of them, and then we'll talk quickly about some of the issues I've dealt with. So some of the issues that I've had to deal with are aphids and spider mites. I used, you can probably see behind me, it says Nature's Miracle on it, but it's actually just insecticidal soap that I made. It's, I'll look for the recipe and put it on the screen. This has been a huge help getting over aphids. My main plants I got aphids were this Aurelia that I talked about earlier. Then it got into one of my gardenias, then transpired over into some of my elephant ears. And it took a few weeks, multiple treatments. I went crazy on them with this Captain Jack's dead bug, which literally kills everything. And being that they're inside, I don't think I was harboring anything over it. Now, I did have a couple like rock spiders come in, and there was like 1 or 2 other spiders that didn't freak me out. So I didn't, get rid of them. I'm not a spider person by any means, but I knew they were beneficial and they could possibly be helping me. So I avoided plants like that and just used insecticidal soap, and it seems to be good. I do notice, like I have a spider over here in one of my wandering Jews, and then I have a spider over here in one of my geraniums that I'm overwintering, so just know not to get near them. I actually really think rock spiders are great. But let's stop rambling. Let's show you some of the plants that I have down here. So excuse the mess. This is our basement. We do hold other stuff down here, but this is my Aurelia that I've been overwintering this year, and it is quite tall. These are just the lights that I'm using. These are just some fan lights that I purchased at my local hardware store. You can purchase these on Amazon as well. I will try to get you a link down below of some similar ones, but this Aurelia has done really well. We had a huge aphid problem. You can actually see, let me see if I'll get that to, oh, they're dead little skeletons on it. But it's surviving, and that's all that matters to me, is that it is surviving. We have some agaves right here that I always winter over. Super easy. They get like water once or twice in the entire season. A gardenia that was dealing with the aphid problems because it was so close, but we've gotten them under control. They still need a wash down to get rid of the honeydew. I have a couple ferns. These are Kimberly Queens that were at my front door. And then my Thailand Giant. I also noticed, and I don't know if this is like legit, but I was using some leaf shine because I had ran out of the insecticidal soap and I had noticed some aphids, and this seemed to have worked to suffocate them. So if ever in a pinch, use some of your leaf shine. This is the wandering Jew that I plan to take a number of cuttings from and start propagating for more containers outside. This is the Calathea that I was talking about, who has rebounded amazingly. It needs a little bit of cleanup, but hey, once spring comes, this thing bulks up so fast outside, it's unbelievable. I'm also overwintering a fuchsia down here. This is Garden.evolutionyt. We have a number of mangaves in here. Some flapjack plant. This is a plant, I forgot its name. It blooms, they usually have these out in the fall. This is actually a petunia that I've been overwintering. Funny thing, if you bring in a petunia, you'll notice it's a catch plant for nuisance bugs. So I do spray this once a week, but just to kill what's on it, but it does catch all of your nasty bugs that are down here. So if you're ever thinking about it, bring in a petunia. They're pretty easy to overwinter. My lemon tree that hates me, I just, like, look at this. Look at this. Guys, I'm not showing you all the pretty. This is the reality of me keeping houseplants. I mean, I killed one over here. I don't remember that's a sweet potato vine, but I think that was a begonia. I don't know. I have a ginger down here, my geraniums, a sago palm, mangaves that are covered in wood shavings that need blown down. We were in the middle of a project and they just got some aftermath. These are 2 begonias that I purchased as well that I've been thoroughly enjoying. And this is a begonia that I've been overwintering from this spring, and it's holding on. It's doing good. More mangaves, a jasmine that I have just given up on. Guys, I'm done with jasmine. This just going to the trash today. A mum that, guys, maybe it's been a little longer than I thought that I've watered. Oh my goodness. This is a mum that I purchased last fall that I thought was really cool. Now, granted, mums are not hardy generally here because these are all like florist type mums, but I'm going to give this one a go and see what happens. Some geraniums that I'm overwintering, clearly not doing so well. This one, or these ones, have a huge agave here that I rescued from another person on Marketplace. And, well, that's pretty much it. I have another agave over there that, for some reason, is over there. If you guys want to see more content from us that we've already previously shot, we have a couple over on our page, such as planting up with one of our friends that is local to us, and a number of other projects that we've had going on. But this year, we're going to make it better. I'm actually going to try to upload more and give you guys more insight onto what's going on around here, rather than just Instagram. But if you're new here, click subscribe. If you wouldn't mind giving us a like, watch another video, because that's what YouTube wants to see from us. And head over to our Instagram page and check out what's going on over there, because we're always posting and always playing in our stories and showing you other people that you should be following as well. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. My next one is a plant that I think we all know caladiums, not caladiums. Calathea? Is that what they are? I'm not really good about ivy either. It was doing so good. Slouch in here. Beautiful lighting.